Salakia. It is the ISUPK. That's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York, since 1969. Oh, Salakia. That joint. Oh, that went off. Salakia. All right. Hold on. All right. There we go. Salakia. All right. It is the ISUPK. That's right. It is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York, since 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. And we're here to teach the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native American people that we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Interesting class tonight. The class tonight is going to be on marrying over and over and over again is a sin. All right. And we're going to use the scriptures and we're going to rightly divide and show how it is and how it is a sin and how it is a big thing among Israel today. All right. We're going to look at some scriptures about marriage. We're going to look at some scriptures about divorce. All right. So get your pen, your pad, your precept book out. Get ready because we're going to come back and get it in. All right. We'll be right back. So just buckle up.
Excuse me, I got a question.
Somebody give me Romans 13 and 11.
I have a question.
It's a Ronald car, man. Give me Romans 13 and 11.
Khan, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Brother, you need a water? Thank you.
Hey, what's good, Zariah, man? What's up? Get your ass up. Oh, man, you always do tripping. What's going on, man?
What's good, Ray?
Hey, man, they was clowning you at work today, man. So? I mean, we watched the video a couple times, but we really couldn't tell if it was you.
Yo, how's your eye?
Oh, it's cool. God damn!
What's up, Rock? What's up, Rock? Yo, let me get one of them flyers, man. Man, I ain't giving you shit. You better get the hell out of here before Cat Pop come out here. Man, come on, man. Why you gotta be like that, man? I'm trying to come to class, man. Why you acting crazy?
Man, you need to go do that.
Man, I ain't giving him shit.
Man, what? Man, you ain't gonna give me shit. We need brothers to come to class.
Damn, man. Ite me yato me tararo tato. Man, you fucking racist, man. Give me this goddamn flyer, man. You acting crazy, home.
Man, fuck you.
Oh, shit. Tebow, nigga.
What? Who?
Tebow.
Damn, I ain't been to class in a minute. Shit. Oh, shit.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bike. What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing.
I thought you already collected the tires.
I did, but I want Red's 10%.
Stall him out.
What's up, Red? What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing, man.
Oh, yeah. You got something.
I ain't got. Hey, man, that's messed up, man.
Shut your ass up or I knock your ass out.
Yo, T-Bo, man, that's messed up, man. Give him his money back.
What money?
You right, man. The money.
Hey, man, why ain't y'all help me?
Yeah, man, I paid my tithes.
Man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all.
What about the time he took the ties from me in Zarad's backyard?
Oh, that was different.
Man, let's jump him.
Man, sit your ass down, man.
Man, I got mind control over T-Bo. When he here, I pay my tithes. But when he leave, I pay my tithes.
Man, damn, man. I should have just paid my tithes, man.
Man, that nigga gonna cry in the car.
He should have paid his tithes.
Shit, real shit.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spitting. Album so high, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hit shit. What I speak is the
What's up,
truth.
y'all?
I don't care if it's offensive.
What's up, Red?
Life that I chose, no turning
Thanks for the
back
bike.
in this. They don't
What you got on my ties, homie?
God damn, man.
What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive.
God
Life
damn.
that I chose, no turning back. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness.
T-Bo,
Rain on them.
nigga.
I
T-Bo.
believe in reincarnation, so you know it's endless. I'm solidified and stamped. That's why I walk with a signet.
I went and did Salaya. What was
Good.
good?
Be like, man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all.
All right, word. Man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all.
Blameless. And if you ain't the same, I'm against it. Was born with this shit. The other half, I'm just gifted. 20 on me. Wish a nigga would so I could spend it. Start from the branch, then I end at the.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on,
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it cautious. As if they make the wrong move it cautious. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, Slytherin house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it cautious. As if they make the wrong move it cautious.
One West.
calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat, hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some, get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest, I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking, now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping, kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we something authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up, I'm about to boss shit.
I think we got a problem, got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. Stack club, baby. You hear that? You can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the Isupk classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Bird, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Nah, think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
In Romans. Yeah. All right, we are back, right? All right, so the class tonight, you know, I you guys always hear me talking about different Christians that I talk to, right? So I talk to a lot of Christians, right? And we know a lot of Christians and we know a lot of people in our lives, right? But this subject tonight is a pretty deep topic because our people really believe that it's okay to marry, divorce, then marry again, divorce some, and marry again. They think it's okay. They think that that's righteous in the eyes of the Most High Power. They believe that because they are in a monogamous relationship at a time, that they believe that that's okay and they're good. Like I really know a lot of Christians, man, that really brag on that fact. You know, they brag on the fact that, you know, I'm happy. You know, especially when you're going through something with your wife or whatever you want to call it, all right? When you're going through it with your wife or your husband, that's when they want to talk about how they're happy in their new relationship, how they're happy because they threw away the last one and went and got another one. That's what you do. And then people get on top of us real heavy because we say that if you sleep with her, you got to keep her. If you touch her, man, you got her. That's yours. You can't be with a woman and then throw her away just for no reason. Just say, you know what? I don't like you anymore. I don't like what you're saying. Whatever the case may be, whatever the issue may be. So we're going to explore the scriptures in that fashion. We're going to look at how and why one would divorce. Like, okay, right now I'm separated. Right now, what the hell does that mean? What the hell does it mean when a woman, your wife, tell you, okay, we separated, but what does that mean? Like, really, what does that mean? Does that mean that, okay, we separated and now I can move forward, and then when you come back, we'll see how that works out? How the heck? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, with the Most High God has brought together, let no man separate except. Is that what it say? It don't say that. So we're going to explore it. We're going to explore the Samaritan woman at the well, and then we're going to look at another woman. But we're going to look at the two and look at how the Most High interacts with one and how the Most High interacts with another. Right? We're actually going to look at three. But the first thing we want you to understand is this. What you got?
It's Romans 13.
Give it to me.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Read.
And that now knowing the time.
Salakia, start at verse 10.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 10.
Read.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
What?
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Come on.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
I mean, I wanted to go there so you can really understand, like, what we actually talking about. What we're actually talking about is the very thing of the very fabric that's supposed to bring a man and a woman together. It's love. And he says, love worketh what? No ill to his neighbor. It shouldn't be no ill between none of us, right? And then it says, therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. That is heavy. Now, coming behind that, we're going to say this. Read.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time.
It is high time. It is high time. We are here. Read.
To awake out of sleep.
To do what?
Awake out of sleep.
It's not saying come. He's not talking about coming to your house and get you up out of the bed because you sleep. He's saying wake up from your sleep because you unaware. You don't know what's going on. You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea of the truth. And when he said in verse 10, when he says, read it again, because this is the law class. This is the law class. Read verse 10 again.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Come on.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
That is so heavy right there. That is so heavy. So you have to awake from your deep sleep and understand that, listen, you talking about you in these, and I call it habitual monogamous relationships. Like you jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship, and you feel good about it. You feel righteous about it because it's one relationship at a time. Just because it's one relationship at a time means nothing. You still a hoe. Or if it's a man, you still a whoremonger. It's still. All right. You do Romans 15 and 4.
I'll get to it now.
Let's get it.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Read.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Read.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Might have hope. So now let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at today, right? I want you to go to, I think it's, give me a sec. I want you to go to Matthew 19. I want you to go to Matthew 19. All right. Salakia, John. No. Salakia, Matthew 19. I'm right. Matthew 19. That's what we're gonna start on this thing. All right. And I want you to go to, you can start at verse 3.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 3.
Read.
The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife?
So, Salakia, so the Pharisees is asking a question pertaining to the law because they're tempting him. They're testing the Most High. I mean, Salakia, they're testing Yahweh Shah, but they don't understand when they testing Yahweh Shah, they're testing the Most High, right? So the Pharisees come to him and they tempting him and they asking him saying, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause, meaning for any cause? This is the question that one will ask today. One will ask today, what can you divorce for? Because today in this country, in this time, you can divorce for anything. So this is a question that we will ask the church leaders today, those that are sitting in those seats. Those are the ones that are sitting over the congregation and judging the people, right? So you can ask that question, can you divorce for anything? That's what he's asking, right? That's what they're asking. Read.
Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Come on.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read?
Have you what?
Have ye not read?
Remember, the scriptures, he said in Romans 15, those things that was written before was written for our learning. So it's only natural that Yahweh Shah would say what? Read it again.
And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read?
Have you not read? Look, that's one of the biggest problems we got right now. One of the biggest problems we got right now is reading, picking up the scriptures and just reading it. Because if you just pick up the scriptures and just read it, you'll get the answer. I'm gonna give you an example. All right, today I was banging it up with some Christians, right? And I told them, I said, they said, well, the Most High said that Noah should put 2 clean and 2 unclean. So they going back and forth with me, back and forth. I'm like, well, why don't we just read the scriptures? Let me go to the scriptures and get it out. They like, no. What it say? What it say, man? No. I'm like, listen, why don't we just go to the scriptures, Salakia? I said, why don't we just go to the scriptures and read it? I mean, it's just that easy. They're like, no, I'm telling you, my grandmother and my mother showed it to me. I said, all right, so cool. So I pulled it up and I said, can I just read it? Because these things was written for us to go to it. And then I read it and it said 7. It says 7 clean. They still argue with me. So today, even if you read it, it's still a problem and an issue. It's a problem and an issue because it's a linguistic problem. If you're not born again, you're not going to see it. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to be able to discern properly what you're reading if you try to discern it and read it from the linguistics today. I always say that, all right? So verse 4.
Verse 4.
Read.
And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? Now
that's a strong cut right there. He made a male and female. So homosexuality crushing you right there. Go ahead.
Salaki, I was just going to say that. The next time if I ever get a question like that, I might hit him with the have ye not read?
Have you not read? Have you not read what he made them in the beginning, male and female? He got to tackle this issue too. It's because remember, we're dealing with these Romans. And guess what? Everything that we're reading right now, we got to approach it dealing with the marriage today. Because marriage today is the same thing in Rome. These are the same people. Matter of fact, America is little Rome being reborn. This is Rome being reborn. But what's heavy about it is everything that we're talking about marriage, it comes from them. It comes from them. You know what? Let me see something, Salaki. Let me see if I can pull this up. I want to show y'all something. Real quick. See what. See. Okay, boom, I got it. All right, here we go. So let me pull this up. Y'all stay with me for a sec. I'm gonna add this, and I hope it's like, let me make sure they can see it. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. All right, so look. So during this time, like I said, you're dealing with monogamy. Monogamy was real big during the time of Yahweh Shai. Monogamy, putting your wife away for anything, you know, even the women was able to put you away for anything. No woman has never you don't find women putting men away in the scriptures, right? But I want to pull this one up right here is because I want you guys to see how they was getting down in Rome, right? Hold on, let me pull this up for myself. All right, so look what it says. It says marriage in ancient Rome, right, was strictly monogamous institution. Sounds familiar, right? A Roman citizen by law could have only one spouse at a time. The practice of monogamy distinguished the Greeks and the Romans from other ancient civilizations. I'm gonna read that again. The practice of monogamy distinguished the Greeks and the Romans from other ancient civilizations in which elite male typically have multiple wives. The Greco-Roman monogamy may have arose. All right, so that's good enough. I just wanted y'all to see that that's where it comes from, right? That's where it comes from. Monogamy doesn't come from the Bible. Monogamy came from the Greeks and the Romans. When they are the ones that's this. Give me Job 9:24. This is who monogamy came from. And this is where we got it from. We got it from the Greeks and the Romans. They are the ones that made them, they instituted that, and this is what distinguished them from everybody else. You got it?
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
Read.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Those are the ones that came up with monogamy. The earth was given into the hand of who?
The wicked.
The what?
The wicked.
So monogamy is what?
Wicked.
It's wicked. Because a bad tree can't bear good fruit. They're wicked. So this is when wicked began to explode on the earth. All right, now let's go back to Matthew 19, Salaki. So this is the reason why he says male and female is what he made in the beginning, because homosexuality was real big, just like today. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother.
Read.
And shall cleave to his wife.
Read.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
They shall be one what?
One flesh.
Now that word one flesh is heavy because Christians use this all the time. See, it says one flesh. One flesh. What that means is what?
On one accord.
I want you, bring it, make it tighter. Give me precept. One flesh. One flesh, because that's what a Christian is saying. A Christian is saying one flesh means what? What you got?
One body.
What it means, one body. But I want you to be more specific. The reason why is because that is true. That is true. But I want you to be a little bit more tight. So let's go to Romans. What I want? Romans 9:3. We're going to get the definition from the Bible on what flesh mean. When it says they are two, those two become one flesh. You got it? Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3.
Come on.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren.
For who?
My brethren.
Read.
My kinsmen.
Come on.
According to the flesh.
According to what?
To the flesh.
So flesh is family. Go back to Matthew 19:5. I want y'all to understand this. All right? We're going to read it again. Read it again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 5.
Come on.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
And that one flesh means what? Family. And I'm gonna tell you why it's important to understand that means family. Because if you're saying that it's just two of y'all and and out of y'all two, y'all make one flesh, what about if you have children? Are you gonna add to it? So you add to the family. So it's one family. And it's one head to that one family. Period. Like my house, it's the house of Tasha Young. If I get 12 ribs, it's still the house of Tasha Young.
That's right.
They still belong to me, according to God's law, right? Because that's what the scriptures mean. Flesh means family. So if it's one and it's one family, I can add to that family. I can add children to that family. We still one family. All right? Let's get it. Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Come on.
Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
They one family. There's no more separate family now. She doesn't belong to the Father anymore. He kept her as a virgin, and now he gave her to me. Now she's mine. She's my possession. All right, read.
What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder.
Now hold on. I want you Christian women to understand this and you Christian men to understand this. It says, what God had joined together, let no man put asunder. You don't let no man separate it, and no woman. All that we separated right now, that's trash. That's just, you're getting practice to go and do some mischief. That's all that is. Let no man separate. Now in this state right here, you could go down and you could file paperwork for separation. So you can let no man separate except the state. Is that how it goes? The scripture says, let no man separate. Don't let no man asunder. You don't let nothing come between the family. Nothing. You don't let anything break up the family. Nothing. But unfortunately, we have two type of contracts and marital contracts. We got a contract, marital contract that you can get from the law of the land. And then you have a marital contract that you'll get from the Most High. And that's right here in this book. That's this contract. That's this covenant. All right. So you let no man separate. Wherefore, there are no more twain, but one flesh, meaning one family. Whatsoever the Most High has brought together, let no man put asunder. Read.
Verse 7.
Come on.
They say unto him.
Come on.
Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
All right, so y'all got to really feel what's going on, right? So if you go up to verse 3, they asked the question. The Pharisees said, they tempted him. It says they tempted him. And they said unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away a woman for any cause? He answered that. That's what he answered. Between verses 4 and 6, he answered it. First thing he said is, have you not read from the beginning made them male and female? And then he said, look, he said, they are no more twain, but now they are one flesh, right? Then they came back and said, okay, then why did Moses then? That's what they doing. Remember, they tempted him. They said, why did Moses then command to give a written of divorce and to put the woman away? I get this all the time. Christians come to me all the time and they ask me a question and then they want to come back. Well, oh, okay. Well, what about Moses then? Why Moses put it? That's what they're doing right here. They tempted him. So he checked them real hard on the first question and he answered it. Bang. Now they come back with, oh, okay. Well, what about Moses? Verse 8.
Verse 8.
Now he's about to answer him.
He saith unto them.
The first thing he said was what?
Moses.
Moses. Read.
Because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
Come on.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
So the hardness of your heart suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. This is something that when we came out of Egypt, man, it was just, you got to think, man, our sisters they was drenched in Egypt, the Egyptian culture. They was drenched in everything about Egypt. All that bickering and fighting and going back and forth. The brother's like, look, you know what, man, I'm putting her away. I'm going to get another one. But from the beginning, this was not so. Verse 9.
Verse 9. And I say unto you.
Now he's about to answer it. And this is why we went here. This is very important. Read.
Whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Why is he saying that? Why is he saying if you put away your wife, except it be for fornication? In this country, fornication is what?
Sex with another person or outside marriage. Sex outside.
Exactly. See how it get fuzzy? Because watch this. Read that again from the top, verse 9.
Verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Come on.
And shall marry another, committed adultery.
So he's saying that fornication is adultery. So now that messes up everything. That messes up everything when you're dealing with Rome. That messes up everything when you're dealing with the United States marriage law. Because in America, fornication is quote unquote having sex before you went to Esau and asked him for permission. That's considered fornication. But here in the scriptures, it's saying you commit fornication when you marry. This is a reason why you would put a woman away, because this is adultery. So what is adultery? What is adultery?
In this country?
No, in the Bible.
Oh, adultery in the Bible is having sex, Salakia. So if a man has sex with somebody else's wife, that's adultery.
In the Bible, right?
And if a woman has sex outside of her marriage, that's adultery.
Right. So, but what if a man has sex with a woman that's not married?
Then that becomes his wife.
That becomes his wife. That's not fornication in the Bible. So now we're going to show it, right? Look, the first thing we're going to do is I want y'all to go to Exodus chapter 20. And Salakia. Chapter 20 and verse 14. Now, I'm breaking it down like this because it's the law class, all right? And you need to understand how this law works. You got it?
Exodus chapter 20, verse
14.
Verse 14.
Read.
The book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 14.
Come on.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. That right there is a law. That right there is a commandment, right? But it says, read it again.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Now, that could be broad in different cultures. In different cultures, that can mean different things. Like we just read in Rome, you can marry, divorce. In America, you can marry, divorce for any cause, right? And in America, adultery the law is different. So how would we understand this? It says, thou shalt not commit adultery. It's a law. It is a commandment. But guess what? It has a statute. It has a judgment. It has as one would say in this country, it has a guideline, right? The Levites are the ones that will enforce the penalty. All right. So remember, you got the law, thou shalt not commit adultery. Then you have the statute and the judgment, right? Give me Leviticus 20 and 10. So now let's look at the statute and the judgment, because remember, it says if you put your wife away for any cause except for fornication, that's adultery. And if she marries someone else, she's an adulterer, and that person is an adulterer. So that's a different law. That's biblical. So we got to see the guideline on that. We got to see the statute on that. We got to see the judgment on that. You got it? Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 10.
Come on.
And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Now that's saying very clearly what adultery is. That's the guideline. That's the statute. That's the judgment. We know thou shalt not commit adultery. One more time. Read it again.
And the man that committed adultery.
The man that commit adultery, read.
With another man's wife.
With another man's wife. Now, if it says, if it could have been clear, it could have just said, if a man that is married sleep with a woman, it could have said that, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't. This is not America's guideline, or this is not America's statute and judgment. This is God's statute and judgment. Remember, God's thoughts is not our thoughts. His ways is not our ways. Read it again one more time.
And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
Read.
Even that committed adultery, or salakia, he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Shall surely be put to death. So if you do this in Israel, you're getting put to death. You can't be in Israel. You can't be jumping around man to man. No, you can't. You can't do that. No. Now, if you live that lifestyle prior to coming into the truth, you can repent from that. Right? You can repent from that, and then you can start walking in that truth. So let me give y'all that repentance, and then we're going to jump right back to this. Give me 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47 through 49. Bro. Let's show them, in case we got one of them that got married over and over and over, not understanding and coming into the truth. We're going to show you how to repent from that. All right? 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47.
Read.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves.
If they shall rethink, that word bethink means to rethink themselves. Read.
In the land whither they were carried captive.
Where they were carried away captive. This can only be, this is what's heavy about this. This can only be making a reference to us. Nobody else is in this condition. Nobody else is in a land where they were carried away captive in this condition that he's about to read. Read. Well, you got to bethink. You got to rethink yourself. You got to be born again. You got to have a reversal of mind. That's why it says from the rip, it says, read it again from the top.
Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people. Read.
And repent.
Come on.
And make supplication unto thee in the land of them that were Salakia, that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely. We have committed wickedness.
Come on.
Verse 48. And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies.
In the where?
In the land of their enemies.
Because remember, salvation is being saved from the hand of your enemy and from the hand of those who hate you. Read.
Which led them away captive.
Which what?
Led them away captive.
This can only be referring to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people. Read.
And pray unto thee.
Come on.
Toward their land.
Read.
Which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause.
And maintain their cause. Anything else on that? That's it? All right. So that's how you can repent from that. So if you're dealing with that issue, you need to look. You need to face the east. And you need to repent and make supplication, right? And understand what you're doing. But let's get back to the lesson. So now I want you to go to Romans 7:1. And then we're going to take a look at how the Most High dealt with one that, just to show you that marrying over and over and over again really makes you a whore. Go ahead. What you got?
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 1.
Come on.
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
That do what?
Know the law.
Now, this is the New Testament. So he's speaking to those who know the law. All right. You condition and you understand the law. You understand what we just read. You understand what the scriptures are saying there. Then you going to understand this. Read.
How that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
As long as he what?
As long as he liveth.
Come on.
For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth.
Why don't it say as long as the man live, he's bound to the woman as long as she live? Because you're my possession. You belong to me. I am the head. I have to say so. That's hard right there. It's a submission. It's real tough. It's real tough. But you have to understand a woman is what? Read that again.
For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth.
Come on.
But if the husband be dead.
But if the husband be dead, read.
She is loosed from the law of her husband.
Then she's no longer under that law. So a woman is bound to the husband as long as he's alive. Now, if she commit fornication, that's adultery. He can put her away. But remember, the question was, can you put her away for any cause? Go ahead.
Verse 3. So then if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man.
Come on.
She shall be called an adulteress.
Listen, you can't get around that. You can't say, you know what, I made a mistake. That's what it is. I made a mistake. I hope the Most High forgive me for this mistake, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this one away and I'm going to go get another one. No, because now you're living continuously in that transgression. You can't continue. That's like saying, you know what? I'm sorry for stealing. I'm not going to steal no more. Or I'm sorry for lying. I'm not going to lie no more. I'm not going to bear false witness against my brother no more. And then turn around the next day and lie. Or turn around the next day and bear false witness. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing, right? Read that again. Verse 3.
Verse 3. So then, if while her husband liveth.
So as long as he's alive, it doesn't matter what you put her away about. It doesn't matter what you left him for, or what you said, oh, we separated, or whatever you're saying, whatever law the Esau has put in place. None of that matters, because the Most High said, as long as he live, she be married to another. So she shall be called an adulteress. She's going to be called an adulteress by the Most High. He's going to see her in that light, because he's still alive. You can't say, oh, I made a mistake. And now, because your relationship with the Most High is personal, and it's so personal that now you can bypass this because you got pretty eyes. Oh, you know what? You dress nice. Oh man, she nice, she hot. So what? None of that's gonna help you with the Most High. None of that's gonna help you. Moses couldn't get in. Why?
Moses couldn't get in because he took. He
struck the rock.
Oh, Salakia.
I brought that up because that was minor compared to you saying, well, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm going to marry someone else and the Most High going to forgive me. I'm just going to live as an adulteress. And then my husband that I married, my new husband, he's an adulterer. I didn't polluted him and me. We all been jammed up. Why? Because I was so selfish. Because I was so selfish, I wanted to get another husband. I wanted to get another wife. That's real selfish. That's real, to think about, especially when a woman says, you know what, I'm just so unhappy. I'm just so unhappy that I just want to divorce. So now you got kids and you so selfish, you only thinking about yourself. What about the kids? What about the family? What about everything? What about that one flesh? What about that oath you took? What about don't let no man put us under? What about you leaving your mother and father and cleaving to us and we becoming one family? What happened to that? Now all that's out the window. All that's gone because you want to be selfish. Now you're an adulterer or you're an adulteress, and so is your spouse. Why? Because you didn't want to believe what the scriptures is saying. The scriptures says, so then if while her husband live, she be married to another, she shall be called an adulteress. Read.
But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress.
That's the only way. He has to be dead. Read.
Though she be married to another man, wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Christ, that ye should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto God.
All right. So what I wanted to pull out of that was that right there is that as long as your husband is alive and you are, this is how you know that it flows like a river. It doesn't say anything about as long as the man live, and I mean, as long as the woman live and the man be married to another, he commit adult. It don't say that. It don't say that. This is how you know what adultery is from that law and that statute and that judgment. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to John chapter 4. We're going to look at the Samaritan woman, right? We're going to read about her. Then we're going to back up and come back in it, right? So I want you to go to John chapter 4 and you can start at verse 6. We're gonna go up late afterwards, but first I want you to go up to I just want you to read verse 6 on down, and then we're gonna go back to the Old Testament. We're gonna go to the law so we can get an understanding of it, and then we're gonna come back, and then I'm gonna show you the difference in the two. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna show you that the Samaritan woman, first of all, she was not Israel. All right, she was not Israel. All right, I'm gonna show you the difference between a woman that is Israel and the Samaritan woman. All right, I'll show you the difference in the two. One that's not an Israelite and one that is dealing with adultery. All right, let's get it.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 6.
Come on.
Now Jacob's well was there. Yahushua, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. Verse 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua say unto her, give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God, and who it was that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water.
All right, now do me a favor. Just jump down to verse 15. We're going to come back to it, but I want to just read a little bit of it. Then we're going to go to the Old Testament, like I said, get some history on the land of Samaria and who was in the land, and then we're going to come back to it. So jump down to verse 15.
Verse 15. The woman saith unto him, sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua say unto her, go call thy husband and come hither.
Come on.
The woman answered and said, I have no husband.
I what?
I have no husband.
She said, I got no husband. Go ahead.
Yahushua said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands.
Thou hast had how many?
5 husbands.
Yo, a lot of women today want to be just like this. They want to notice what he said. You had 5 husbands, right? Read.
And he whom thou know has Salakia. And he whom thou now hast in not thy husband.
The one that you with right now is not your husband. Read.
And that sayest thou truly.
Go ahead.
The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet.
I perceive that thou art a prophet. So we see that, right? So first, let's find out if this is an Israelite or is this a non-Israelite. Now, real quick, I want to do this. Let's go ahead and go back and let's see who this is. Let's go to, we're going to get right to it. I want you to go to 2 King. 2 King. Actually, no. First go to 1 King 22 and 51. I'm going to show y'all who was on the throne first. Who was in Samaria first. All right. Because you got the fake Hebrew Israelite groups out there talking about the woman at the well was an Israelite. She wasn't an Israelite. She wasn't an Israelite. I'm about to show you. She was not an Israelite. And if you was to use the scriptures properly, I seen the purple guys doing it. I said, man, what? Get out of here. Really? So she was an Israelite? Let's see. Give me 1 King. You got that 22 and 51? Let's get it. Matter of fact, start at verse 50.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 22, verse 50.
Come on.
And Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, his father. And Jehoram, his son, reigned in his stead.
Come on.
Ahaziah, the son of Ahab, began to reign over Israel in Samaria.
Where?
In Samaria.
So Israel was in Samaria. Read.
The 17th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and reigned 2 years over Israel.
All right, so you got Israel, you got Judah, but the main thing I wanted you to see is that Israel was reigning in Samaria. They were reigning in Samaria, right? But what we're claiming is that woman was not an Israelite. But right here it says that Israel was in Samaria. So let's see what happened. Go to 2 King chapter 17. 2 King chapter 17. We're going to start at verse 1. Time go by so fast.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1.
Read. Salakia, go ahead down to verse 6. Verse 5, Salakia.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 17.
Salakia. Go up to verse 1. Don't mind me. Let's get it.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 1.
Read.
In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Eli, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
So he's reigning in Samaria, all right? Where that woman was at, right? In Samaria, read.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh.
So the king did that what was evil in the eyes of the Most High. Read.
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to king of Egypt.
So he found conspiracy. He found the king of Assyria was tight with him because he tried to build an alliance with Egypt, right? Go ahead.
I just have a quick question, sir. So king of Israel had to pretty much become a servant of another king.
Well, that's right. Well, he was giving tribute to the king, and instead of showing the respect that he usually has showed to the king of Assyria, he went behind his back and went to the king of Egypt, to the Pharaoh. Good.
So is there? This is a quick question. Might be a little off topic.
No, you're not.
Is there a?
Don't go too far though.
Sir. is there archaeology? I saw some archaeology where there was, I think, an Israelite king bowing down to like another king, and there was inscribed on the wall. Is that this? Or
I would have to see what you're talking about. It could be, but remember, there was a lot of we had siege when we went into Assyria, but when we went into Babylon, there was 3 sieges. So it could have been, and then kings was being taken there and all that. King of Judah was being taken there. So I'm not sure, but it could be because we did have to go and serve the king of Babylon. You know what I'm saying? King of Assyria. So we did. So I'm not sure. All right, go ahead. Where you at?
This should be verse
4. Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year.
Come on.
Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
So remember that he's in Samaria. So now he's shutting him up and throwing him in prison, right? Verse 5.
Verse 5. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went to Samaria.
Went where?
Went to Samaria.
Come on.
And besieged it 3 years.
Come on.
In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in harbor by the river Goshen and in the cities of Medes. Verse 7.
All right, that's too wild. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
So understand that this is not talking about Judah. This is talking about Israel. All right. This is talking about Israel, and they was ruling where? In the land of Samaria, right? So we're going to shoot over to verse 18.
Verse 18. Therefore, the Lord was very angry with Israel.
With who?
With Israel.
Come on.
And removed them out of his sight.
Removed them out of his sight. Read.
There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
So that's giving you the indication and letting you know once again, that was a separation. You got Judah and you got Israel. Israel was in Samaria, and the king of Assyria went and snatched them up out of there and pulled them up out of there and put them into captivity, right? Watch this, verse 23.
Verse 23. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight.
Salakia, start at verse 22.
Verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
So they was carried away out of this land, out of the land of where? What land was they taken out of? Samaria. So they was taken out, right? Can you read?
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon.
Oh, go ahead.
And from Cuttah, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Samaritan.
Come on.
And placed them in the cities of Samaria.
Place them where?
In the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
Come on.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
So what that's saying is that, listen, Israel was taken out of Samaria, and other nations was brought into Samaria. That's what took place, right? Go down to verse 26.
Verse 26. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria.
Salakia, 25.
Verse 25. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Verse 26. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of God of the land. Salakia. Know not the manner of the God of the land.
Come on.
Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land.
So remember, this is dealing with Samaria. Read.
Verse 27.
This is key.
Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom he brought from thence.
So he's saying, look, because they did not know how to take care of the land, fear the Most High in the land, dealing with the land, the king of Assyria say, you know what? I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna go get a priest, and the priest gonna come and teach you. All right? Gonna come and teach you. That's very, very important. Go ahead.
And let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the God of the land.
So let the priest teach them. Now, you know, the priest knows the truth. So the priest is bound in as a slave, and now he's told to teach them the way of the land, to fear the Most High of that land. All right, go ahead, verse 28.
Verse 28. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear Yahweh.
Read.
Verse 29. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own.
Did what?
Made gods of their own.
So they made gods of their own. Read.
And put them in the houses of the high places.
Go ahead.
Which the Samaritans had made. Every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt.
All right. So what we see is that in Samaria, you had Israel in Samaria. The king of Assyria took them out. Right? Where did they go after that? Where did they go after that? After they came out of that captivity in Assyria, where did they go?
Asher. I mean, are you asking like where the Israelites went?
Where did Israel go after they came out of the captivity in Assyria? They came to North America.
Right. I could. What was the name that they said?
What you talking about? You talking about?
They came to North America, but they called it a certain.
It's called Arazar. It's something like that. It starts with A. Arazeth or Arazar, something like that. I can't pronounce it. But the point is, I just wanted to throw that in there, and we don't got to go to it because it's going to take time, and we're running out of time. Second Ezra. Matter of fact, go ahead. Let's go to it. Second Ezra 13 and 40.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40.
Come on.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Remember, we just read about that, right? Read.
Whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Come on.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
That right there is key. That's key right there, because it's saying, he's saying, where never no man dwelt there. We know that it was men on that side of the earth, but on this side of the earth, no men dwelt there. So the Most High said, listen, Israel, the northern kingdom, dominantly came over to North America right here. And you're reading about it right here in the Apocrypha. Go ahead.
Verse 42, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Do what?
That they never kept in their own land.
That's really important, and I'm going to show y'all why. Go ahead.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country they were as a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Asherath.
So that's another word for land. All right. So look, they went to a land where no man dwelt. Well, who went back to who went back to Israel? Who went back to the land? I'm gonna show you who went back to the land. So now you got the precept on show who went back to the land. I gave it. Ezra, the book of Ezra. All right. So now we know that they didn't go back to Samaria, and Judah, which is the southern kingdom. They are the ones that went back to Israel, right? They're the ones that went back to Jerusalem. That'll be Ezra chapter 1. And then we're going to get back to that New Testament. And now we're going to read about the Samaritan woman. And then we're going to read about an Israelite woman. And you're going to see the difference in the two. All right. And how we don't want to live like that. All right. You can start at verse 1.
First Ezra?
No, Salakia, Ezra 1. Ezra chapter 1.
Ezra chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
The book of Ezra, chapter 1, verse 1.
Come on.
Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of Yahweh by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, Yahweh stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, Yahweh, God of heaven, hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Who is there among you all of his people?
Notice it says in Judah, not in Samaria. Read.
Who is there among you all of his people?
Come on.
His God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of Yahweh, God of Israel. He is the God which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the men of his place help him with silver and with gold and with goods and with beasts, besides the free will offering for the house of God that is in Jerusalem.
So this is what he put in writing for them to go back, for us to return back from Babylon. Now let's see who came back from Babylon, because what we're saying is right now, according to the scriptures, that the northern kingdom came over here to a land where no mankind dwelt. So let's see who came back. Here it is. Read.
Verse 5. Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all of them whose spirit God had raised, to go up to build the house of Yahweh, which is in Jerusalem.
So the northern kingdom, which is Naphtali, Ephraim, Manasseh, all those other tribes, they over here. They came over here already. They didn't go back to Samaria. Remember, you had other nations that was in Samaria. So what did they do? They took counsel among themselves and they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to a land where no man dwelt, and we're going to serve our God there. And I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to show you a video of just that, where they had actually found that there. Now this is the boy Glenn Beck, right? And he did a video on something that they found in Ohio. So we're going to play that real quick. Here we go. And I'm going to pause it probably from time to time and speak on it.
Is made up of 606 feet, 606 feet, 606 feet, 606 feet, 606. It's made up of stades, exactly the same. Now, if that's not interesting enough, look at the angle of the Great Pyramid of Giza. If you take the angle of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the slope is 51.8 degrees. Let's go back to the earthworks. If you measure the line that goes straight through the center of the structure, right here.
Salakia, and remember, this is in Ohio. This is in Ohio. All right.
And then you go true north. It's 51.8 degrees. That angle is exactly the same angle as the pyramids of Giza. It is the same math, the same calculations as ancient Egyptians. Let me show you one more connection. In 1860, David Wyrick, he's a guy who surveyed the Newark earthworks. He was digging into a mound near those earthworks, and he found a wooden coffin made of oak. They opened up the coffin and found a skeleton of a man holding a little box. It was about 8.10 inches in size. The box had been cemented shut here. This, by the way, is sitting in Ohio. Well, he opened up the box and he found a little man inside, a little black stone. They took it to scholars and they looked at it. The man seems to be carrying something, and there's writing here at first they couldn't recognize. The writing is, they thought in 1860, some sort of Hebrew. Well, finally, about 20 years later, they found some rabbis living in the area, and the rabbis looked at that, and they could read it. They said it was an old kind of block Hebrew, and it was a rendition of the 10 Commandments. Now, this is another piece. Block Hebrew, they said they'd never seen anything like it. Mainstream archaeologists at the time called this a hoax. But then in 1900, or just about after 1900, in Israel, they found the same block-style Hebrew writing. Mainstream archaeologists still dismiss the findings. They found it in Israel, and they found it in Ohio. But there was another stone that they found that they couldn't argue. This is the Bat Creek stone. It was found during the course of an official Smithsonian evacuation. The Smithsonian didn't understand the meaning of the writing on the stone. They thought it was Cherokee, since it came from Cherokee country. They didn't realize that it's actually Hebrew. They had published this originally upside down. They threw it in a box at the bottom of the Smithsonian, put it in the basement. Many years later, a scholar took it out of the box, looked at it, and went, oh my gosh, it's upside down. It's Phoenician, ancient Hebrew. So what's going on here?
I like that part right there. So like it. All right, we back. All right. I like that part right there where he say, what's going on here? What's going on? And then he goes and says that the Smithsonian and the government and the colonizers, they all came together to cahoots to actually hide all of that information, that the 10 Commandments was found here. And then you have another one. One more. Hold on. One more. I want to just show it to you. And I know a lot of us have seen these things, but you got brothers and sisters that's watching this for the first time that hasn't, and they need to see it, right? They need to see this. So let me pull this up. Now, what is this? Hold on. Salaki, I ain't mean to do that. All right, but the point is, let me see if I can pull that up a little bit. Now, that right there was found in New Mexico. That right there is found in New Mexico. That's Paleo Hebrew. That's Paleo Hebrew. I can read that. Right? So why am I pulling this up? It's because remember, this is what the Northern Kingdom said. Go back and give me that 2nd Ezra 13 and 42. Remember, they said this. Read.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 42.
Read.
That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
See that? This is the reason why you're going to see the 10 Commandments carved on a stone in New Mexico. This is why you're going to come here and pull up earthwork, and you're going to find a man holding the 10 Commandments. You're going to come here and find pyramids all over America. You're going to come here and find booths on top of those pyramids on where they lived all over America. You're going to find fringes on the Native Americans all through America. So you know that they went here. They didn't go back to Samaria. Now let's go back to John chapter 4. They didn't go back to Samaria. Remember, there was other people there. This is why she said some of the things that she said. Now we're going to get a chance to really understand what she was saying. All right. Start at verse 3. Salaki, I'm running out of time.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 3.
Read.
He left Judea and departed again into Galilee, and he must needs go through Samaria. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar.
So he came to Samaria. Now, real quick, hold that. I want you to go to John. Hold on, let's see. Hang with me, y'all. Hang with me. Hold on. I do a lot of hip shooting. A lot of it. Boom. Go to Matthew chapter 10. Give me verse 5. Give me verse 5 and 6. Salakia, just give me give me 5 and 6. This is when Yahushua was giving the command to his 12, to the 12. Was it more than 12? To his disciples to go out and teach. To the 12 disciples and teach, right? Listen to what he said. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5.
Read.
These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Read.
And into any city of the Samaritans.
Of any city of the Samaritans. Go ahead.
Enter ye not.
Enter ye not. Why? Because remember, there was what? Who was there? Other nations was there. We didn't return back there. Our people didn't return back there. They went and dwelt in a new land. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't none there, but we wasn't dominantly there. Dominantly, we was over here. All right, read.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's where I want you to go. If the lost sheep of the house of Israel was there, he would tell them to go to Samaria. But he told them, don't go into the way of the Samaritan. Don't go to Samaria. Why? Because we just read there's other nations there. And those other nations was taught our ways. That's very important. Now go back to John. John 4.
And we left off on verse.
Read.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 5. Or Salakia. Okay. The book of John, chapter 4, verse 5.
Read.
Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph.
Read.
Now Jacob's well was there. Yahushua, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the sixth hour.
Come on.
There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua saith unto her, Give me to drink.
That's another thing. He was cold with her. Give me the drink. Give me the drink. It wasn't no easy in there. He didn't ease in that. He just said, give me to drink. Servant. No, he didn't say servant. He just said, give me the drink. Go ahead.
Verse 8, for his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat.
Read.
Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou being a Jew?
How is that what?
Is it that thou being a Jew?
How you being a Jew? Because she's not a Jew. So how you being a Jew, read, an Israelite, read.
Askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria.
Read.
For the Jews have no dealings with Samaria.
We don't bang with them. That's why we say, yo, we going to a land where no man dwell. With no man dwell at. That's what we going. Because we ain't going back there and compromising and working with them because they in our land. Remember, we just read that the king of Assyria put all types of nations in our land, right? Go ahead.
Yahushua answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God.
If thou knew it, because you don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. You was taught it, but you don't know. This is why he says, if thou knowest the gift of the most high power, read.
And who it is that saith unto thee,
right?
Give me to drink.
Come on.
Thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water.
Because you have no clue. Remember, they was taught though. They was taught, right? Read.
Verse 11. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water?
Come on.
Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Art thou greater than our father Jacob? Why is she saying our father Jacob? Why? Because she was what?
Samaritan.
And she was what? She was taught something.
She was converted.
Right. She was taught something different from what she was. So now she's like, our father Jacob. Oh, it ain't your father Jacob. But because you was taught that, and you was taught to fear the most high power of that land, now you saying this. Read it again.
Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Of course he's greater than Jacob, dummy. Go ahead, read. So,
which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? Yahushua answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again.
Come on.
But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life.
Read.
The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua saith unto her, Go, call thy husband and come hither.
Go and call your husband. All right? That's what he said to her. Go call your husband. Now this is where it's going to get heavy, because she's a hoe. She's a hoe. She is a hoe. He's about to call her a slut. Watch, read.
The woman answered and said, I have no husband.
What?
Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said.
You have said well. You have spoken well. Read.
Thou hast said well, I have no husband.
Have no husband. You boning now, but you have no husband. Read.
For thou hast had 5 husbands.
How many?
5 husbands.
What does that mean? That means that she has been with 5 different men. And the one she with, so that's 6. You know, I was talking to a young boy the other day, right? And I said to him, I said, now, what's the body count of a 25-year-old? Yo, he said body count 25-year-old like 15, 20. So they like tripling this hoe right here. Yeah, they tripling her. Remember, there ain't no put away for any cause or none of that. But this is their culture. This is what they do. But from us, now this is a hoe. That's what this is. Read.
For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast in thy and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband, and that sayest thou truly. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive thou art a prophet.
I perceive thou art a prophet. Now look, for time's sake, we're gonna shoot over to the Israelite, because I want to show y'all the difference response in the two. But go back and read it. But keep in mind, you know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep going, because there's some more I want to get on this. One more thing I want to get on this. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 20. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to go worship.
That's where it should be worshipped at. That's where the worshipers are. That's where it is. It's Jerusalem. It's not Samaria, but they was taught that. So her fathers they did worship there because they was taught there. That's the indication to let you know when she says our fathers worship in this mountain, right? In this mountain. Why? Because they was taught there. That's where they were taught. Verse 21.
Verse 21. Yahushua saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
Come on.
Ye worship ye know not what.
That's key right there. Ye worship ye know not. You don't know. Because you've been taught something that is not yours. You've been taught something that is not your, Jacob is not your people. That's something that you was taught. That, you know, that's just like Christians today, right? When you talk to Christians from another nation, they merge themselves right in with us. When you talk to Esau, he merges himself right in with us. And he uses language like our Father, our Messiah. It ain't our Father. It's not our Messiah. Time is, all right. Read verse 22 again.
Verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews.
It's of the Jews. He's letting you know that salvation is not for you. Salvation is for the Jews. It's not for you. It's not for you. It's for Israel. That's why he said, go not into the way of the Samaritans, but rather go unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Verse 23.
Verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers.
The what?
The true worshipers.
Those are the Jews. Read.
Shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
Come on.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
Come on.
Verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
All right, so now let's go to now we see the Samaritan woman. We got it. We got it. For time's sake, I really wanted to read this whole thing, but I can't. So we ain't gonna be able to do this one. I wanted to go to the woman at the woman that was caught in adultery. All right, because if there was a woman of Israel and she was doing as that woman in Samaria was, after the first time, she'd have been cracked. We'd have had to stone her quickly. All right, but I'll say John chapter 8 for another class. Let's see if there's any. Salakia. Is there any questions online? If there's any questions in the class, you got any questions? Go ahead.
What is a woman?
Yo, that's crazy though. Y'all got to go and check out the one we did on what is a woman. Real heavy, real heavy, right? All right. And saying that, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Salakia. All right. Amijam means stand. We're gonna give the brothers a courtesy salute. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam Barak. Yahaba Hashem Yahushua Barak Atham. Yat Yom Matah, arms down. Sar means to turn. We're gonna face the sisters. Sisters, Amijam means to stand. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam Barak. Yahweh Shamar Atham Ba Hashem Yahushua. Class dismissed.
Okay. I think it's time to level up.
Salakia.